Every one of us has a legal file of charges that are against us. And when one doesn't accept Christ, the enemy has the legal right to bring affliction and torment. Pay attention. The law of Moses contains 613 commandments that no man can keep perfectly. And the consequence or penalty of breaking God's law is death. But in Colossians 2, Paul goes further into the charges that you and I have accumulated when we broke God's law. Paul calls the charges that are against us the handwriting of ordinances, which is basically the legal folder of your charges and the penalty associated with each charge. Heaven keeps record of everything that you've done and the penalty that you deserve. But look at what Paul says about this legal file of yours. Verse 13. And you being dead in your sins, sin separates us from the life of God, bringing death in every area of our life. And in the uncircumcision of your flesh, hath he, Christ, quickened or made alive, together with him, having forgiven you of all trespasses. Now look at what he says in verse 14, that Christ, who quickened us or made us alive and forgave us of all trespasses, also did this. He blotted out the handwriting of ordinances that were against us, which were contrary to us, and took it out of the way, nailing it to his cross. So in other words, all of the sins that you committed under the law that is written in your legal file and the penalty of committing those sins are blotted out. Now the word blot means to cover or to smear. So what did God do with your legal file? He took his hand that was covered in blood and smeared it, covering all of your sins and the charges associated with it, just like the Passover lamb in the book of Exodus. And not only did he blot out our legal file, but he also took it out of the way and nailed it to his cross. And this speaks to Christ, who not only blotted out our charges, but also took our charges upon himself, so that when he was nailed to the cross, our charges were nailed with him. And when he died, our charges died with him. And when he was buried, our charges were buried with him. And verse 15 gives a powerful result for all of this. And having spoiled principalities and powers, he made a show of them openly, triumphing over them in it. See, the principalities or the demonic rulers of the kingdom of darkness were using our legal folders against us to bring accusation against us. And not only were they using the legal file, they were also using the law itself. Because the more you break God's law, the more charges you rack up. And the more charges you rack up, the more accusation they can bring against you. And the more accusation that they bring against you gives them legal right to a greater level of torment that they can afflict you with. And so Christ, through the cross, spoiled them or disarmed these principalities and powers who were using your legal file against you to bring affliction in this life and in hell.